What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the De Cualquier Manera podcast, or for my English speaking friends, the Either Way podcast. Okay, so I'm Diana. Nice to meet you. And off the bat, I just want to let you know that this is not really the podcast you want to listen to if you want things to be sugar coated. Okay, where you want to feel all warm and fuzzy inside, feel good quotes, but with zero challenges. No, we are here to challenge you, to tell you the truth, the type of truth that's gonna sting, but it's gonna help you in the long run. And that's what we're about, that it's gonna help you grow. Because here's the thing, some people need a hug, other people need a pep talk, and some of us just need someone to really tell us straightforward, to be like, hey, you're not showing up as best as you can. Okay, and I know you can, and you could be so much better. I'm that person for you. So what's the reason for starting this podcast? Honestly, because I lived through enough life to know that a lot of us out here just need some honesty. Yeah, that's why. I've seen how a single conversation could just flip the switch for someone and give them that push that they're needing. I've seen how God, in his very obvious but quiet ways, has worked in my own life, shaping me into someone who can't just stand by and not speak the truth when I see someone drifting or someone going off course. I'm not here to preach to you. Okay, I don't think that's my lane, but I also don't want to hide the fact that my faith is such a huge part of who I am and how I've gotten to where I am. It's also the reason why I give God the credit for all the good things in my life. And it's why I believe in speaking in truth and love, because that's how change happens. All right, here's the thing. I am a straightforward person, so I am going to challenge you. I'm going to ask you those questions that you've been avoiding. But here's the thing, we're going to confront those things together. You don't have to do this alone. We are not meant to go through these mountains and these valleys alone. We are not. And it's always from a place of, I want the best for you. I really do. I really just want the best for everybody. So I want to tell you a little bit about me and about my story. Okay, so I was born and raised in LA, and I am from the San Fernando Valley. Okay, I was born in Van Nuys and I grew up in North Hollywood, and it's just not the best neighborhood, at all. But I did grow up in the church. My mom, she raised me, always taking me to church. She took care of me. She didn't want me to be, around people that were just gonna be bad influences. But the thing is that bad influences everywhere. And if you want the bad influence, you could find it. You could get it. Okay, you have to willingly not want to be into that crowd. No one's gonna force you. Anyways, majority of my childhood and my teenagehood, I was just going to church. I was very invested, but things happen. Churches aren't perfect. People mess up, and pride and ego get in the way sometimes, and it's a factor of a lot of things. Life at home and just personal issues and mental health. Mental health is a big one, especially if you don't have parents that believe in it, especially if you don't have parents that believe that you need to tend to it, to your mental health, your actual physical health. Anyways, fast track. I fell into my little rebellion era, fell into the world, felt so good. I was so restricted from so many things throughout my childhood, and then finally I was like, we're breaking free. So, I dabbled and did whatever's. And then the really crazy part that just kind of changed my life forever is when my mom passed away from COVID. And she was the only person that I ever had my whole life. It was just always me and my mom. I was raised by a single mom, and I had an older brother. My mom passed away from COVID in 2020, and when she had passed away, I was 1 month pregnant. I was 1 month pregnant with my daughter, which I absolutely love and adore. And then from there, it's just the challenges of trying to navigate, trying to get through pregnancy, having my baby, getting back on my feet, working and just trying to find my way and to have a good life, not just for me, but for my kid. And through the hard times, through the times where all I wanted to do was just drown in self-loathing and self-pity. That does not help. It does not help. Like, it's not the coddling that helps. It's when someone stops you and is so straightforward with you, and it hurts. Yeah, it hurts your ego. They're just so straightforward with you, but it's because they know that's what you need to. They know that's what you need to hear. They know that's what you need to know. And even before this experience, like, I was already a very truthful person, a very straightforward person, a very like call things out type of person. And then that's kind of the way you kind of start having issues at church, is that there are issues and you can call them out, but it just doesn't set a good tone. And honestly, if you want to change the narrative of an organization that you participate, like, you can't just be a spectator. You can't just be the person that calls it out. Like, if you really want there to be change, like, you have to be in it. You have to be the leader. You have to be the person like working behind the scenes. Like, you have to help behind the scenes. It's not just about calling things out and whatnot. It's about putting in the work. And if you really believe in this organization or this person's vision, then you believe in it and you're willing to put in the work. But that's just not what happened to me. I was way too young. Anyways, throughout all the challenges, God really brought me through, and I just want to share that. Okay, so here's what you can expect in the De Cualquier Manera podcast. Some weeks it's just me and you. We're just going to be talking about life. We're going to be talking about faith. We're going to be talking about growth and chasing those goals that really light you up. Chasing those goals, chasing the dream, the vision, the reason why you were born. Okay, because I believe in that so strongly. And I had a stepdad growing up, and I thank God so much for him. He was so like religious sometimes, but one thing he never failed that he always told me is that God had put something special on me. God put me on this earth for a reason, that God had a plan and a purpose for me. And there's a bigger plan, there's a bigger purpose than just your 9 to 5. There is. If no one has told you, but there really is. And other times, I'm gonna bring in someone from my life that I just love their story, whatever challenges they went through, whatever hardships they went through, and how they came out on the other side. Just listening to the valuable things that they have to share, the valuable wisdom that they inherited from these really tough and crazy challenges. One thing I'm gonna promise is that we're not meant to be fake. We're not meant to like avoid like the really tough and ugly parts of life. Like, we're not gonna do that here. We're gonna acknowledge it and be like, damn, dude, you went through that? That's really tough. And I can't believe how you went through that and you're still here. That's the reality that we're trying to express. That's the beautiful process we're trying to show and express in this podcast. Anyways, if you stick with me, I'm always gonna cheer you on. I'm gonna challenge you and encourage you, even if it annoys you, but in the best way possible. Because sometimes the people that push you the hardest are the ones that love you the most. And that's just true. They just want to see the best for you, the best out of you. Anyway, so thank you so much for pressing play on the very first episode of the De Cualquier Manera podcast, the Either Way podcast. I can't wait to see where this journey takes us, because either way, De Cualquier Manera, we're gonna do this. Until next time, take a step forward every single day, even if it's a small one. You'll get there. We'll get there.